Hello, fellow poolsiders. It's Maximus. Good morning to you all. And this is a very important update because about 8 hours ago, as you can see here, Clearpool's Mainnet will launch on tomorrow, which is March 23rd. And it's going to start off with the launch with the Mainnet with their first borrowers, which are going to be Wintermute, Amber Group, and Folkfang. It also states that 100 million plus is committed to being deployed from the lenders, which are CoinShares Co., GBV Official, Hex Trust, Sino, Global Cap, and many others. And of course, when we go click on this link here, it takes you to the actual Clearpool Medium link, and this is tremendous. So for one, like you see right here, it says Clearpool is excited to announce the launch of its mainnet protocol tomorrow, which is the 23rd of March, and it's going to be at 12 UTC. And like it also mentions here, it says the decentralized marketplace for institutional unsecured liquidity is powered by its native token, which is CPOOL, and will initially launch on the Ethereum network and shortly after on Polygon as well. In regards to borrowers, the mainnet protocol will launch with single borrower liquidity pools launched by leading crypto institutions, which are of course, like I mentioned before, with Wintermute, Amber Group, and Folkfang, who collectively trade billions of dollars across the major crypto exchanges every day. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, but there's more. And it states right here, Folkfang has indicated an early appetite, I love when they state this, appetite, to borrow in the region of 10 to 40 million via the Clearpool protocol, with Amber and Wintermute also indicating strong early appetite in the region of 25 to 50 million. And it goes on to mention Tien Calander, which is the co-founder of Amber Group, has put out this statement, and it says Amber is thrilled to become one of the first borrowers on Clearpool by launching a Genesis pool. The uncollateralized lending and borrowing market in DeFi is a space that Amber is not only active in, but one that we feel has tremendous prospects for growth. We trade billions of crypto every day, and as we scale, we need access to unsecured liquidity, which Clearpool's innovative protocol offers. We have no doubt that Clearpool's innovative solution will put them at the forefront of this space, and I could not agree more with that statement. So a little bit back to what I was stating earlier, for instance, with the borrowers, Wintermute, Amber Group, and Folkfang, especially Folkfang's statement, was it Mike Van Rossum of the Folkfang group has stated that, they want to do 10 to 40 million. It could be even higher than that, as you can see, with what was posted. But you think about it, that's just one borrower group. And there's these three right here just to start things off. Then when more adoption happens with other borrowers coming into, the mainnet with what Clearpool's got going on, we're talking about a large exchange of money happening through the Clearpool protocol. If that doesn't get you excited on the potential of this project, then sorry to say, I don't know how else to get you more excited. Because, for me personally, I'm thinking of things like, for instance, this right here. When we zoom out a little bit, look at this right here, right? So, a little over $2. So what does it say right there? 236, right? So all-time highs back in November, and you gotta keep in mind, this was even before like the test net, right? So you already saw it reach way past $2 a token, right, for the CPOOL token back in November. Based on what? Basically based on a concept, yeah, a lot of hype and so on. But now that the mainnet is out, you know, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw all-time highs soon and maybe surpass that by a lot. I don't know. But, you know, nonetheless, let's go down a little bit further. And it states also, Clearpool has a further pipeline of some 30 plus borrowers. Oh my goodness. So here we are, you know, at least me, I'm already excited about the main three from the start, right, of the mainnet. And now it says, you know, I should say now, I mean, I know this for a while, but, you know, to see this in writing, you know, a further pipeline of some 30 plus borrowers, which include a selection of leading crypto and traditional financial institutions. You know, it goes on to mention all borrowers on Clearpool must stake CPOOL, successfully complete a comprehensive KYC process, and can be onboarded with Clearpool's partner Xmargin, whose technology enables a real-time risk scoring framework for lenders to access. And I looked a little bit more further into the whole thing with Xmargin, and I think it's absolutely brilliant because, you know, it's basically like vetting these groups who want to do borrowing and so on. You know, and that's a good thing. You want to see that type of KYC process, you know your customer process when it comes to this. So going down a little more further, I want to cover all this because, I mean, to me, this is something that needs to, you know, we need to look at this. So for instance, it says lenders. It says Clearpool is permissionless for lenders who only require a Web3 wallet connection in order to access the protocol. This gives both individual and institutional lenders equal access to the yield opportunities that will be available on Clearpool. Clearpool has over 100 million of capital committed to being deployed from a range of liquidity partners from both crypto and traditional finance, such as CoinShares, GBV Capital, Hextrust, Sino Global Capital, CyberX, and several others. The size of the liquidity program is expected to grow significantly as more borrower pools are launched in the coming weeks and months. And then, you know, there's some of this you could read here as well. I'm not going to do literally everything that you see here. You know, I already reviewed most of this, but, you know, another thing that caught my eye, for instance, is what it says right here. It says USDC on Ethereum is the first asset that can be lent to a borrower pool, as in USDC, you know, stablecoin. However, in the future, Clearpool will be launching on multiple chains and other assets and stablecoins will be enabled. That's great because it shows you an outlook and continued roadmap for the Clearpool project. And then this area, of course, I want to focus on a little bit more, and that is where it says interest rates and rewards. Borrower liquidity pools are continuous and dynamic, meaning they do not have a set maturity date or fixed interest rate. It goes on to mention, it says dynamic pools are a new innovation and concept in DeFi. The interest rate paid to the lender adjusts based on the pool's utilization ratio. Now I'm going to stop here for a second. If you want to see this in a demonstration, by all means, you could either, well, I should say either. I did a kind of a review / takeaway on my thoughts of the demo, but by all means, take a look at the actual video that the Clearpool team put out that shows the demo of the mainnet when they have Mike Van Rossum with the Clearpool, from Folkvang. That demonstration they had, that video, wasn't, you know, that was posted like a few days ago, maybe about a week ago or so. By all means, take a look at that because you can actually see this, right, in full video. The demonstration of that, instead of me just talking about it here. By all means, take a look at it because it gives you a firm understanding really well about what's going on with this. I believe it's Jacob of the Clearpool team who will show you that in the demonstration. I believe it's about the roughly like the 8:45 mark to like the 15-minute mark of that particular video. But anyway, moving on, it says the interest rate paid to lender adjusts based on the pool's utilization ratio. calculated by the total amount of capital currently withdrawn by the borrower versus the total amount of capital currently in the pool. As the utilization ratio increases and more capital is withdrawn, the interest rate rises to reflect the change in risk. Again, I actually took some notes and mentioned what has basically been restated right here for you, but nonetheless, for those who missed that video, I'll go ahead and mention it again. It says, conversely, the borrower can repay capital into the pool and reduce the utilization ratio, which decreases the interest rate and subsequent risk for the lender. This dynamic process is driven by the market forces of supply and demand and ensures that each pool's interest rate and total size will always reach a state of equilibrium. And then finally it says, on top of the interest paid in stablecoin USDC, lenders also receive extra rewards paid from the protocol in its native token, which is the CPOOL token. This makes Clearpool one of the most attractive venues for risk-adjusted yields in lending stablecoins in DeFi today, and I couldn't agree more with that statement. That's basically what I believe separates them from other DeFi projects, if you will. And of course, there's a little bit more from Rob Alcorn and his statement, so on. But you know, I just thought that was really, really cool to touch basis on this. There's one more thing I do want to point out, and that is further down here. This was really well done, in my opinion, and I believe it's, let's see, right, okay, it's right here, and this is actually posted by Rob Alcorn, who's the CEO of the Clearpool project. I'm gonna actually zoom in on this by click on show this thread. Alright, and it's just a nice, like, nostalgic, you know, I guess you could say a bit of history of, you know, what was their roadmap, of where they've been and where they're at now, and it's just really well put together. So anyway, like you see right here, it's posted about 7 hours ago. It says, April 2021, the idea for Clearpool was formed, which was a DeFi protocol that would allow institutions to borrow without collateral and with clear benefits to lenders willing to take on risk. Which, let me just pause right there. You know, years ago, I was a loan officer for 2 years, and you know, collateral was like a must. You know, you had to provide collateral to get any type of a loan, right? Or to get any lender to even think about providing you anything. You know, it's like that right there, that statement is huge. So the next thing, it says, May 2021, first version of the white paper received stellar feedback from industry leaders and experts. Our amazing team is formed. Then it goes on to mention, June 2021, Clearpool opens 500,000 seed round. It closes in 40 hours later with 2.5x oversubscribed. So I mean, basically means that they reached their goals and then 2.5 times over. And get this, in a bear market, how impressive is that? And it says, you know, from there the development of Clearpool commences. Hex Trust basically comes on board as Clearpool's incubator, and then 6 billion digital asset custodian license in HK in Singapore. Really, really impressive. September 2021, Clearpool closes a further 2.5 million in funding from top investors like Sequoia India, Arrington XRP Cap, Sino Global Cap, Hashkey Capital, and many others. Amazing partners. Like he says, thank you for your support. And then, you know, October 2021, this is basically when I first heard about Clearpool. And it states that CPOOL launches on the DAO Maker and lists on KuCoin. And I actually missed that. But just to give you guys a little history lesson, if you're not aware of this. So, you know, coin and token projects, they have, you know, for instance, the stocks, they have these IPOs, right, and so on. And crypto, it's an ICO, initial coin offering. And so DAO Maker had an initial coin offering I believe it was for only one day, and it was sometime in October. And just to show you, I'll show you guys right here actually. Here it is, see the ICO. And basically, yeah, October 25th to October 26th, and 5 months ago, they had 5 million CPOOL for sale, and look at that, 4 cents a CPOOL token. Oh my goodness. I mean, for those who got into that at 4 cents, I mean, I was happy, of course, to pick up a bag for what, 14.9 cents. But man, if I could have took advantage of the ICO, but again, it's all about how the thing was pitched. I should say the project was pitched, right? So, would I have gotten into it then? If I would have been convinced like I was back in October about how huge the project is, yeah, I probably would have took a chance on it, especially for that price. But anyway, yeah, ICOs, I mean, if you hear about certain projects, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but in the future, if I see certain ICOs being presented, I would like to, of course, present it to you guys as well. But for me, I kind of, I guess you could say, cover it after certain things have met my, I guess you could say, like private self-audit. Like for instance, like what I do with my own research, and then on top of that, like what tokens differ and so on. Realistically speaking, I don't think we're going to get those type of audits, right, off of an initial coin offering during those times. For a lot of those people, it's just knowing the background of what the, Clearpool was doing, for instance, right? Like all these other things mentioned, like for instance here, like was it up here where it says like some of the history, right? And having other, Hex Trust, for instance, coming on board as Clearpool's incubator, but knowing that. Right, so those people who knew the history and how powerful the project was before, right, the ICO, those are the people who really reaping the rewards. Not saying that we're not, but I mean, come on, let's face it. I mean, getting it for 4 cents a coin, and then watching it go to all-time highs back in October, and then of course where we're coming from right now and seeing it, darn well this thing's gonna, in my opinion, it's going to go to the moon and then some. But anyway, so moving along, where we're at, roughly October, yeah, launches on DAO Maker and lists on KuCoin, Gate.io, Senex, and so on. And then, of course, November, December, multiple high-profile partners and borrowers announced, including X-Mergent Trading, Lithium. I mean, all these. I mean, it's just really impressive. December 2021, Clearpool launches on the Ethereum testnet. Thousands of people test the protocol within the first days. I realize you can look at all this yourself, but I mean, I want to just take a moment to appreciate this, because I mean, to me, we're about to see the beginning of something amazing with this Mainnet launch here tomorrow. And to be able to see this project blossom from then on, I mean, for a lot of people, crypto is a journey. I mean, for me, it's a journey. I did very well with, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, CRO, which is now called Kronos, and some other ones, like Shiba Doge and so on. But my point is, to be a part of this particular project and the roadmap and everything they got going on, it's an absolute honor. I'm glad to have been able to recognize the potential of this project and be part of the journey. We're going to see those new all-time highs, and we're going to be so glad that we hung in there and we're together to ride this journey. It'd be fellow poolsiders, if you will. So yeah, I just can't say enough good things about this particular project and where it's going. But anyway, a little bit more. It says March 22, 2022, after months of hard work, Clearpool, right, is going to launch the Ethereum mainnet. When it launches, a new paradigm in how institutions borrow unsecured capital will be born. And of course, like Rob Alcorn says, what does this mean for you? CPOOL legend who has been holding and staking since the early days. It means you hold the asset, the key that will unlock the gates between the $130 trillion traditional capital markets and DeFi. Then Rob goes on a little bit more. He says, CPOOL is not just a governance token. It also has true utility. Remember I was speaking before. Excuse me, I'm kind of getting a little hoarse. I've always stated that, CPOOL is more than just, a project that's just, into DeFi and so on. It has true utility. At the end of the day, in any project you get into, there's over 18,000 crypto projects. You need to make sure on any project you get into, it doesn't matter if it's just Clearpool or so on, you want to get into projects that have utility. And now I get it. I said that, I made a lot of money with Dogecoin and so on in the past. But even I can recognize that, yeah, Dogecoin has a powerful community, but they have no what? They have no utility. And, Clearpool clearly has utility, no pun intended. Anyway, it says it powers everything. If you hold it, you also hold the power. And it mentions borrowers must stake CPOOL. Think about that. Yeah, think about that. If you have been with us since the early days, you already know the team's long-term vision and aspirations, but it gets better. Read on. And this is why I really want to just read this verbatim. And I get you guys can do it, but there's people who, if you're like myself, you actually like turn on your Bluetooth, you ride down the street in your car, right? You listen to your favorite influencer. I mean, I might not be your favorite influencer, but I know darn well I am one of the few people who cover the Clearpool project, but I'm honored to do so. I'm not a big influencer, but I'm trying. Anyway. But anyway, like it says, it gets better. Read on. It says APRs for lending on Clearpool will be big, and I couldn't agree more. Very attractive to all types of lenders, including institutions where there are high yields. There's usually a catch, but the beauty of Clearpool is the catch also benefits the lender. Let that sink in a bit. Maybe even reread it again. I'll even restate that again. It says, very attractive to all types of lenders, including institutions where there are high yields. There is usually a catch, but the beauty of Clearpool is the catch also benefits the lender. So what does he mean? What does Rob Alcorn mean? He says lenders will have to stake and lock CPOOL in order to unlock these mega yields. Staking will be proportionate to how much you lend. Greed is good for everyone with CPOOL. So then Rob Alcorn goes on again. He says, so the catch is that you will need to stake in order to farm the highest yields. Why is that good? Think tokens locked. Remember, we said borrowers had to do that too. Constant demand driven by utility for the supply of a scarce asset with increasing value. Sounds good, right? It doesn't just sound good, it sounds absolutely amazing. It sounds brilliant. It sounds genius. This is why I'm so excited about this Clearpool project. Things like this. You have brilliant people who are behind the development of a unique project in the DeFi space. Let that sink in. Going on. It says, we don't stop there. We think the rewards for interacting with the Clearpool protocol should be perpetual. The protocol will always be in the market, buying CPOOL in order to replenish and sustain reward pools. A governance-approved share of protocol revenue will be used to achieve this. Sounds even better, right? Absolutely. We don't stop there either. Burn, baby, burn. A while back I covered on my channel about how Clearpool is going to implement burns and how they're going to go about it. Rob goes on to state, a governance-approved percentage of buybacks will be burned, making your powerful, scarce, valuable utility token supply deflationary. They cannot pound it home enough. I can't pound it home enough. The concept of having a deflationary token supply, a deflationary token, is a game changer. It's huge. So it says, are you on board? Mainnet launches on Wednesday. I'm on board. And for you guys who are on the fence of being on board, again, not financial advice, but check this out. Yeah, it's up about 11% on the 24-hour period, about 26%. I even got back back into this 14.9 right recently. Was my second bag. My first bag of Clearpool was a little bit past 60 cents or something like that. Still great buying opportunities. Heck, my best friend got some Clearpool at roughly 30 cents. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do try to put you guys in the place that I'm in. And for me personally, Clearpool is an amazing choice. They're totally doing things in DeFi that nobody else is really doing. You may meet some people who will state that, no, they're doing the same thing as all the other people in DeFi. No, they're not. If you compare what Clearpool's got going on to other DeFi projects, you will quickly understand and find out that they are a very unique project that's doing things in DeFi completely different from other DeFi projects. So, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And one last thing I want to state is, Mainnet's releasing tomorrow on the 23rd. I will do a follow-up video, of course, in regards to how all this is going. And my plans, of course, for how I'm going to either take one bag and put it on KuCoin at 50% APR or /APY, or if I'm just going to do my entire position locked up. I'm kind of on the fence about that. So one part of me wants to just be able to get it out when I need to get it out if it goes to all-time highs and so on. The other part of me realizes that, you know what, I believe in the project long term, and I might want to stick around it with my position for a couple of years. But whatever the case be, we all have our different reasons. But nonetheless, thanks again for watching sorry, get ahead of myself. Thanks again for watching today's video in regards to Clearpool and the preparation for the mainnet launch. I think it's going to be a great launch, so it's going to happen tomorrow. May y'all have a blessed day, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.